Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I recently bought this USB power bank, and I use it for charging my Nexus 5 and all of my expensive USB devices. And then this Chinese USB pump arrived. It was quite cheap, $5 shipped. It is a USB pump, and it could put out about 200 liters per hour. I also purchased this USB charge adapter, which could show me the output voltage of this thing and also the current consumption of this pump. I went outside, tried to test this pump because I needed it for one of my other project, which I will also make a video about if some other parts will arrive. I went outside and I just wanted to check the current consumption of the pump because that's what I could already do. This charge adapter has an input range of 3.5 to 7 volts on about 0 to 3 amps. So I hooked it up to my power bank and to my pump. And what happened when I plugged in the pump was darkness. Nothing. The charge adapter went out. And I was like, okay, probably it was some kind of overcurrent protection because the pump is like a 3-watt pump and probably this thing can only output 500 milliamps. So I unplugged it, plugged it in again. Nothing happened. So I went and thought that the USB charge adapter was broken and hooked it up to my computer. But it worked just fine. So this is not a problem. I hooked up the USB pump and it worked just fine. So what broke? The power bank broke. Presumably the pump has a too high consumption of power because probably the pump has just a too big power consumption. It is a 3-watt pump, so maximum 600 milliamps, and I don't think this is too big of a problem because a power bank should be okay with about 1 amp on the output. What could have happened is that the motor in here has kind of a lot of induction and it just fried the boost converter in this power bank. Also, it could be that the motor in here is a non-brushless motor and it was in the stage of being almost no resistance, almost short circuit, and it just fried that thing because if you have too much power consumption, usually the voltage will drop and also the power consumption will drop due to Ohm's law. But if you short circuit it, that thing will probably just break. This was €5, which is $7 at one of my favorite electronic sellers, so I thought it was quite high quality, and Logilink is kind of the big ripoff of Logitech. And they make very cheap computer and multimedia components. They have like USB power banks with 7 bays, a 5-volt 3.5 amp power supply, and it costs you like $11. But it works. I have multiple of them and they work just fine. Some people have problems because they somehow pass through the voltage of the external power supply to the computer. I have no clue why they did that. Probably could even save money by unwiring the USB thing, but anyway. So I went online and looked up whether there are more problems with USB power banks, but because I never heard of one breaking. Probably they have, or usually they have a current shunt or something in them, protecting them from short circuits and overcurrents. So I went online, and what I found is this. So I went online and googled Powerbank durchgebrannt. And if you translate it into English, it means fried power bank. And suddenly a lot of results just showed up. There was multiple Amazon results, and I just went to the second link, which was Gadget in a Box, because when you have a 5,600 milliamp hours, the thing was claimed to be 2,200 milliamp hours, which is pretty realistic. And I found this. Really? Really? Is this just a bad joke? Look at that thing! It's exactly the same case. And with the same case, there also comes same electronics usually. Also, this thing has 2,800 milliamp hours, which is realistic as well. My one has only 2,200 milliamp hours. This thing costs €6.40 and $3.50 shipping, which is about €10, so about 14 US dollars. Twice as expensive as mine was, but anyway. If you look at all of the ratings, you will find out that one guy said that the power bank of his friend just stopped working, and after only 2 weeks, and that's why he thinks his power bank is not high quality and he won't use it probably for that long of a time. And now I'm kind of sad that I plugged in all of my expensive devices, because if the DC converter in there is so crappy, it could also have put up the voltage to something like 30 volts. That means my Nexus 5 would be rubbish at this point of time. So I'm just curious to know what's inside of that thing, and I'm going to take it apart. So here we have the power bank, and I can't see any screws, and although this thing is not clipped in because I tried taking it apart with a flathead screwdriver and it did not work. So I was looking for hidden screws, and as it seems, under this label, there are 4 hidden screws. There we are, having the little circuitry. The little inductor, battery protection, mic USB in, USB out, and something on that thing must be broken, but I can't find it. The cell in there is an 18650, which is quite tightly put in there, and it's not a Sanyo. It is an, or at least I don't think it's a Sanyo, it's an HHE INR 18650E20H. Probably you can find out which brand it is. But what I have to tell you is that the whole bank is quite nice for charging 18650 batteries or LiPos or other lithium batteries. So I think you can just use it to basically charge your batteries with via USB. So probably okay for making a different project, but this bank is probably fried on the output side, and that's why I'm not going to use it, also because it seems kind of cheap to me. So goodbye. Hope this video was kind of helpful for you and probably prevent you from buying this piece of crap. And yeah, see you soon, I hope.